All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Undergroundopolis. Oh, man. This is another guest that I can't believe said, sure, I'll do it. Another one. I've had three or four now that I was been really surprised just by, it's amazing what people will do if you just ask. People amaze me. This is one of my all-time favorite bands. Toadies is one of my all-time favorite bands. And if any of you watching have ever seen my old bar cover band, Dick Dastardly, we did like Possum Kingdom was like a signature song of ours that really got the crowd moving. And many of you that have seen that band, saw me jump up and down when it peaks. And I am totally emulating my next guest. I was totally stealing her moves. I hope she don't mind. At least I'm being honest. Until like the last time I did it, and my knee hurt really bad, and I haven't done it since. We'll bring her right on. Yeah, I'm there. Damn near blew my knee out on one.
Got to be careful doing those rock moves.
Yeah, just getting old, man. Getting old. We turn the comments on. Already 8 comments. I hear that SolShifter rocks. I wonder who says that.
It must be one of my bandmates.
Yeah, it's SolShifter. Now haven't said your last name yet because for fear of mispronouncing. Is it Umbarger? Is that correct?
Umbarger.
Umbarger. Okay, see, yeah. That's why I had
that. I answer to both.
And are we Eddie Schmidt says Toadies is one of my favorites. Thank you, Eddie.
I appreciate that.
And Ann Ronson says, I love you, Lisa. There's lots of these. You can't see the comments like I can. Tara Umbarger Robinson, you got to push that hand away. Yeah. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all the new people that have liked my page since this has came out. And if you don't mind, subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on Spotify, because this will be on Spotify too. It'll be a few weeks before I get edited and get down on Spotify. We'll get right to it. How did the Toadies come together?
We all worked in a record store together. So we worked at a record store called Sound Warehouse, and we would talk about music all the time, and it was the cool job to have. And man, yeah, so much talking about music led to making music. So that's a simple story.
Was there someone in particular that you saw at one time in your life and you said at a concert or anything that you said, I want to do that? That's something to see somebody play.
Since I was a little kid, that's all I wanted to do. I remember I would stay up late with my dad and watch the Midnight Special, or in kind of those music shows that were on before videos and stuff happened. And every weekend when we watched that, I would just like, that I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fucking do that. And
that was the one with Wolfman Jack, wasn't it? Was that Midnight Special?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember being a little kid trying to act like him. A lot of little kids probably trying to act like him.
You could see bands and music if you didn't go to a show when I was young. And so, man, I would just sit my butt down in front of the TV and watch all these bands playing. It was just incredible.
Did you watch Kiss Meets Phantom of the Park when you were a kid? Did you?
Yeah.
I did too.
Yes, I did. In fact, our guitar player Charles Mooney does a really, really good impersonation of he can do the voices in that, and it's hilarious.
So, what's it like to have had one of the biggest songs in the world at one time? And it literally was. It's still played. Every bar cover band probably owes you guys millions in royalties.
It still doesn't seem real, even 20 whatever years away, and it's just like, man, we were just having fun. We were rehearsing in a storage unit. So we talked these people that were running a storage unit, managing a storage unit, told them that we were good, upstanding citizens and we wouldn't trash their place. And they rented us a storage unit. We put carpet on the walls and we didn't have AC or a heat. And we go in there and practice 2-3 times a week. And Possum Kingdom is one of those songs that came out of that storage unit. And it's just weird, you know?
Facebook viewer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just think back and it's like, it's, you know, there's no way to even explain it or understand it in my mind about how cool it is, but I can't really grasp still to this day how big it became.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it still is. It's you can turn on any rock station and wait a little while, you'll probably hear Possum Kingdom.
Yeah.
Tyler is such a great song because
Yep.
one of the things I really liked about you and Toadies is how bass driven that band was. And it really it was or is. I guess they're still a band, but
Yep.
and like the last couple albums, I thought they were good too. Not trying to, you know, I thought they were good albums.
No, they're all good musicians.
Still,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very bass driven. You drive it hard, and it's really, and that's one of the things I liked about because I'm a bass player at heart. I play other instruments too, but if I play in a band, I'm going to play bass. It's I almost sent you a video of me doing the jumping up and down thing at this one place. I think it was a place I hurt my knee, but I think it's the one I hurt my knee in, but I still kept jumping because I couldn't let anybody know. And it wasn't but 5-6 years ago. I'm too old to be jumping like that. Facebook viewers, let's see, where was there was a good one. Albert Gamboa, I remember when you worked at Sound Warehouse. Let's see. At Jamie Cooper, Facebook viewer Jamie Cooper asked if her amp still blows tubes during the first song of their set.
No, thank God. Yeah, it used to happen. I got better gear now.
I blow speakers all the time, man. All. Do you still wear a Fort Worth Fire jersey?
Heck yeah. I still got
That's
all
from
the
Albert
hockey
Gamboa.
jerseys.
Do you?
Yep.
Let's see. Saw the Toadies opening for White Zombie, and an amp blew a tube during the first tune. They had to scramble on that city. That happened. You want to elaborate on that? I love stories like that.
Man, it was freezing freaking cold, and the tubes didn't warm up my amp right. Yeah, it sucked.
Do you have a particular? Well, let's wait on that one. Of course, I'm sure people would like to know why you exited the band. I've always been kind of curious. It might just be me. I mean,
No,
tired of starting,
that question comes up. You know, it was a really, really hard time for the music industry in general. Basically, the record companies were being blown up. They were blowing themselves up, and bands were being dropped right and left. We survived all the cuts on Interscope, and something just switched off in me, man. It was like when the industry started changing, I didn't like it. Which I know sounds really petty or whatever, but it just felt different, and I didn't see how we were going to fit in it. And so we were on tour, and it was a bunch of stuff was happening in my life. I just got married, and you know, I just didn't want to tour anymore. And it was really hard. I didn't know if I had it in me to go out and grind like we had to do before. And I could see that that's what it was turning out to be, is to go out and grind it again and do punk rock tours. And it was just was hard to picture myself doing.
What tour was that? Was that a Vans Warp? Was that a Warp tour? I went.
I left. I left in
I went.
02.
Yeah, I went to whatever it was. I remember going to it, but like 2 days before the Toadies left the tour, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I did not mean for us to leave in the middle of a tour. It just kind of worked out that way. We were on the road when everything went down, and there was no fights that happened. But I know that, like, a lot of people had speculations, but there were no fights or anything that happened. Everything was really amicable when we all left and decided to call it a day. But if I had it to do over again, would I do some things different? Yeah, probably. But would those things change the way that I left the band? It wouldn't have. That was still a good decision for me.
Well, I mean, it is now. It's like if a record company does sign you, you got to pay them. You got to pay them thousands.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's like that then, but now it's like, they paid. They used to pay the bands. Now you got to pay the company, and you get no support from touring anymore. And which you might not have then. Like 82, I've only done 2 tours.
We did. We were still at the very end of the milk and honey part of the record days, where they still paid for everything. You still got a tour bus, and you got huge fat signing bonuses. Everyone was still getting $1 million signing bonuses, and that when I saw that blowing up, it was just kind of scary.
Yeah. And I mean, it was hard then too.
Yeah.
Facebook question: who was your musical inspiration?
Oh man, so many.
Yeah, that's a good question though. I like that question.
Yeah. So the person who really changed bass for me was Kim Deal and the Pixies, and was my mentor. I thought she's a phenomenal songwriter, person, bass player, guitar player. That is who, when I discovered the Pixies, that's when everything started changing for me musically. I mean, of course, I came in having a musical point of view, but as soon as the Pixies hit, I was like, God dang it, man. That's what I wanted to do when I saw Kim. That's when I knew that I could do it.
Kim Dill, if you're watching, I have wrote you about coming on this show. Just plug that in there. Shameless self-promotion. Is there someone you'd really like to collaborate with? Have something that you could narrow down that you really, really like? Most people say Paul McCartney.
No, I'm not a huge Beatles fan. There was a little known band existed in the early 90s, late 80s called Slint. And
yeah, they're from here.
Are they?
They're from here, Louisville. Yeah.
Records. Mm-hmm. Fucking love them. That's who I would love to do something with. Any of the guys from Slint.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. I'll let the place where the cover band I told you about that I used to jump up and down in. They're a place that we were in to rehearse when they did their reunion tour. Slint was 3 or 4 doors down from us for renting a rehearsal space, and we got to talk to them a little bit. But it's like one was in Chicago, one was in Florida or something. They were practicing in shifts basically. But I did get to talk to them for a little bit, man. And Slint, yeah, they're from here. They're from here in Louisville.
They're freaking awesome.
Yeah, they are. That's right. I like that question a lot. I get a lot of really great responses for that question. Here's one of my other favorite questions: is do you have a particular favorite show that comes to mind that you elaborate on?
Oh man, yeah, I do. Because we were out doing punk rock shows. We were driving in a van, driving ourselves. We didn't have any crew, not a sound guy, not a guitar tech, nothing. Driving ourselves, and our record had just started taking off in Florida, and we drove down the East Coast. We were playing shows, drove down the East Coast to play this festival in Florida, and we were headlining it. And we were like, this is weird. We're headlining a festival. We showed up in our van. Everyone else has buses, tour buses and stuff. We're in a van, and there are 50,000 people there. And it was so weird. That's when we knew that our record was getting played. And that was the coolest show because we just kept looking at each other going, what the fuck just happened? What happened overnight? Because, we were playing in sweaty bars, pulling, our own gear up on stage. And we did that show too. We didn't have any people. So we're headlining this festival, 50,000 people, and we're loading our gear on like punk rockers, which we were. And this is like freaking 50,000 people. It was insane.
That's awesome. Now here's the counter question. Do you have a particular worst show?
Yeah.
My other favorite question.
we were playing LA. We opened up for the Circle Jerks, which I love. And we don't really go with music like the Circle Jerks, even though I love them. Their fans are not Toadies fans normally. And the whole time we played, the Circle Jerks fans spit on us and yelled at us. They were louder than we were, yelling at us. And I remember this one girl was hanging off the balcony, and she pulled down her pants and mooned us and yelled over the music, "Suck my ass!"
Damn.
That was the worst show. They hated us.
Do you prefer the studio or the stage?
Oh. That's a hard question because they're two different things. I love playing live, I really do. But there's something that happens in the studio, and this has actually flipped in the last 10 years for me because I used to prefer live, but now I prefer in studio. Going in there and seeing how far you can push yourself in there is way cooler now than going on stage and pushing myself. And it's probably that whole thing that you said, Rob, about the knee, because I can't jump as high anymore either. So I push myself in the studio differently than I can on stage.
Facebook viewer asks, have you ever met Flea or Victor Wooten?
I haven't met Victor, but holy cow, he's an animal. Flea, we toured with the Chili Peppers, so I have met Flea. Total freaking nice dude. The Chili Pepper tour was really cool. Just to every night watch guys that have worked their way up, worked their asses off, and it was paying off. It paid off for them, and look at their work ethic and how they ran everything. That was really cool to see.
Well, that's hold on. It's, that thing that happens right now. Do you have a favorite current artist right now that's like?
No. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't really listen to a whole lot of new music. Everything's electronic now. I'm having trouble. So if anyone has any suggestions, hit me up on Facebook of rock bands I need to listen to, because I haven't been able to find a lot of rock bands. And that's what I want to listen to.
Well, how did SolShifter come together?
So SolShifter is the coolest thing ever that's happened because it's so easy. So Charles was the original. Charles, the guitar player in SolShifter, was the original guitarist in the Toadies.
Was he the
And
one
he
that's also
left,
in
like, yeah, he left like a month before we got signed. So he didn't get to
Oh,
enjoy all the accolades and everything that happened with the Toadies, but he did all the work. He put in the work and didn't get to enjoy it. And Matt was like, I think he was the second drummer that the Toadies ever had. So it's two guys that I knew from the Toadies back in the day. And I was in San Francisco at a conference, and Matt messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, Charles is going to hop up. My band is going to, be playing at this club. Do you want to come and hop up and do some Toady songs? Because Charles said he would do it if you would." And I was like, "Okay." And so I came home, and it all started happening, and we did it a couple of times, and I realized that, God dang it, it was so much fun. And I hadn't played in years. I didn't even touch my bass, and it was really good to get back up there and to collaborate with people who I love and respect. So it's freaking phenomenal. I can't even describe it.
so was there something about the maybe earlier today about 3 songs getting released or something? I may have done
Yeah.
some research.
Right. So we right before I went into the hospital, we did some recordings, and in this last week that we finished mixing and mastering them, and it's just wall of sound rock and roll, and I cannot wait to freaking release these. If I could do it today, I almost sent you some of the music sequences.
Well, you still
and
can.
I will send it to you, Rob, after. But yeah, I almost sent it to you because I'm so freaking stoked with it. It's great.
Well, I already like Cut the Noose because that's a really badass song. I really like that song, Cut the Noose.
No, these are just, I think these are even more, these are more than Cut the Noose. Like, I think Cut the Noose is great too, but man, these, yeah. And I don't even think we hit our stride yet, because we're just now getting to where we're feeding off of each other in a different way for writing. So I can't wait till we actually get in the pocket with that.
Let's see. Charles is watching. Charles Mooney. Ask Lisa about the story of the hotel extra towels and Uzis.
I don't know if I remember that one. You're gonna have to have him on to tell that one, because I don't even remember.
Well, yeah, I'll get him on as a guest sometime.
Yes.
Does the album have a title yet?
No.
Okay, just
not
asking.
yet. Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to elaborate about being a cancer survivor? I do a cancer festival just about every year. It's called the Jeremy Wade. I'll plug this in. Jeremy Wade No Fuck Cancer Metal Fest. And I'm not a metal guy, but I get up there with an acoustic guitar and play metal and play songs.
Sweet.
And I don't know why, but I go over really well there at a metal fest. I always do real well at merch and stuff. But it's all it does really well every year. This last year it did really well for the V Foundation. So anybody wants to check that out?
Good.
But would you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah. So this has been a weird few weeks, because all of it everything started happening pretty quickly. I started having symptoms. I went to the doctor, and 3 weeks later, I'm having surgery. So I haven't really sat down and thought about it much. And I really do need to probably sit down, but everything's happened so quickly. I just have let the next steps kind of be dictated to me. Like, okay, you got to go have surgery. Okay, you have to do this. You have to do this. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to think about it and process it, because, yeah, it's, first of all, it's overwhelming probably for anybody. And then, like, as quickly as it happened, it's just, yeah, life started freaking closing in really quick. Everyone has been freaking fabulous. People have helped me out. My family put up a GoFundMe because, not every musician is living off of royalties and everything. Most musicians are working, and
Yeah.
I have a 9 to 5, and I'm off for some time, and got to deal with a bunch of bullshit of medical bills, and everyone pitched in and just freaking took care of it. It was pretty phenomenal.
That's incredible.
Can't even, yeah, the incredible support that I got, it's amazing. I'm so grateful. And it's, one less thing I have to worry about. And now I want to get the green light so I can go back out and play again. And I have an appointment tomorrow where hopefully I'll have more information. So
could there possibly be a tour involved, or no?
I don't know. I want to. Yeah, we want to, because I have a bunch of friends out there now who, oddly enough, are getting their bands back together. Frog Pond in Lawrence, Kansas is getting back together. And a bunch of other people that I love and we played with the Toadies. And I would love to hit certain cities and play with those bands that I love from back in the day, and then have them come here to Dallas and play. So just do like trading tours.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to plug in before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, the main thing that I want to tell everybody is thank you for the love and support all these years. And so freaking grateful. And please go listen to SolShifter, because it's carrying on some Fort Worth rock and roll.
Yeah. If you haven't liked the SolShifter page or followed on Spotify or whatever you listen to music on, please do. Please hit up the Undergroundopolis, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, whatever, Twitch. This is on Twitch too. Yeah. I don't think anybody watched on Twitch. I'm not very good at Twitch yet. I'm pretty good at Facebook and YouTube and stuff, but the Twitch thing I'm not good at yet. But thank you so much for bringing this time together. All the great music, all the great hard driving bass. You still play the Rick? You still play a Rick?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Still playing the Rick.
Like, I tried to play a Rick once and I couldn't.
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know. I could, but it felt really a lot different for some reason to me. I don't know why it's so different, but I always thought Ricks were different.
Yeah, it's way different.
I'm a Fender Jazz. Mostly, pretty much, that's my go-to. I do have a Flying V. You don't see very many of those. It doesn't leave the house much.
Yeah.
If I send you the video of me jumping, I'm playing that Flying V. So I'll try to send you that video.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Send the video now.
I will. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much, Lisa. Or I can't call you Lisa, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you, Rob. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Here we are. We're signing off.